Namaste. I see the divine in you as you see the divine in me. Namaste. And isn't this always the most beautiful way to greet each other? As I see the divine in you and you see the divine in me, we learn to understand what divine love consciousness is. And we are going into a time now to be able to understand what love is and what love force is and love power to create change upon our earth that so needs it. Imagine a loving people coming together, all learning the teachings from divine love, all walking in divine love together and growing together and first healing themselves and then seeing healings happening for others and their families and then being healers in the community and becoming teachers in the community and then having so many people being blessed by CAEAYARON and divine source, sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, all walking towards a greater time, even still towards being able to bring through greater love consciousness flows. Well, this is not imagination because it's beginning to happen. And as the channel for divine love, it's so beautiful to be here and to see this time happening, a time that we've been looking forward to for many, many thousands of years. So before I close my eyes to allow the teachings to come through, I'm going to read out the forgiveness statement, and at the Divine Pineal Gland activations, CAEAYARON gives the forgiveness codes to all those who become activated so that they can forgive more in their life and they can heal more in their life, and our forgiveness codes are very, very strong as Star Sacred World healers and are becoming stronger. CAEAYARON, I bring you now into my spaces of love and healing. I ask for your presence and for your love to be with me at this time. I forgive all that has caused my pain to happen. I release it now. I allow the angels to take it away from me. I bring in the love and the peace, and I desire to understand more joy and self-love. I surround myself with the highest loving divine beings who are here to take care of me. I let go of all fear within me. I release it. I trust that all things are perfect as they are. I'm ready to love myself and all of life more. Thank you, CAEAYARON. Thank you, great divine love. And thank you very much for joining us in these spaces. And may your life be blessed because of it. Excuse me for a moment. Namaste. Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the light. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. Happy is the one who desires to listen to these teachings, for their lives will become more beautiful, filled with loving things, filled with more beauty within their heart. Happy is the one who desires to understand how to walk in greater peace and love. Happy is the one who prays for these times to become stronger and who says, Lord Emmanuel, bless us with the teachings of the great love. Bless us so that we can understand the higher way of love. Bless us and help us to see what divine love is. Bless us our sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, and show us the way upwards to the higher love realms, where we can join you eternally, sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. And it is so that the people who are genuinely asking these times to become stronger can strengthen these flows, because the heart always knows how to ask for the great love. And when enough people desire for the greater strength to happen, it so shall be. This is why Jesus taught the people 2,000 years ago to pray for the great kingdom to come. And he stated, as he was working with my being sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, and I brought these teachings through to my designated channel, Jesus 2,000 years ago, and now I do this again through my designated channel, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, who was Jesus 2,000 years ago in another lifetime. I stated through Jesus, do you not understand that when the heart is open to the greater love, that the great Father can shine greater love upon the earth? For it is by you asking for the great love that you can see the great love within you. And when the great love shines within you, then it can shine upon the earth within others. But how can the great love come to the earth when there is no one to ask for it? For how can the great Father bless the people upon the earth if there is no one who desires to know the great love? It is only when the great Father sees that there are people upon the planet, upon planet Earth, who desire the great love to be within their heart, that he can bring that through, because that is a blessing the great Father gives. For he shall never desire anyone to ask because they feel they need to in some way, or that they are forced to in some way, for then the great Father cannot give that blessing. It is the one who desires to understand the love that the great Father blesses, for he always blesses those who desire to know him better, who say, great Father, show me who you are. Show me your love. Show me your greatness within me. Help me to understand the higher ways of love. Those are the people that the great Father blesses. Those are the ones that can shine with a light within their hearts and show others how to live a more beautiful way. It is so that now, 2,000 years later, I bring these same teachings through. Understand, great ones upon the earth, that you can shine even greater with your greater light, and learn how to become great with the greater light. For when you desire to understand the great love within you, then I, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, can bless you by guiding you to the great mountain of light, which is the great CAEAYARON. And I state, now it is the time to gather the gifts of the great love, so that you can shine with your great light and learn how to become great shiners upon your plane, to bless your families, to bless the people, to bless all of life, but most of all, to bless yourself. For all things must be blessed by you first, before you can do the greater work. For that is the way that all love works. Learn to go within the heart and find that greater desire to be a shiner of light, who is willing to do the greater work, who is willing to bring in the people to the greater paddocks of light and love, who is willing to allow the people to become blessed with the great light that I'm giving to those who put up their hands and say, "Send me, Lord Emmanuel the Great, for I desire it within my heart to grow into the greater love. Bless me for all of eternity, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. Teach me how to love. Teach me how to become of love. Teach me how to become patient with myself and others, so that I may be guided into the greater love." The followers of Jesus, his close friends 2,000 years ago, heard those same teachings too. As often his close friends were gathered with Jesus away from the greater crowds, and he stated to his friends on this particular occasion 2,000 years ago, "It is time to become brighter with your love within your heart, dear friends. Do you not know that we only have a limited time to show how great the light is? For then the darkness will come, and I, as Jesus, will no longer be working like I am now. And as many people as you can gather together must understand the greater love ways, so that the greater love can be spread all throughout the earth. For there will be a time when the great Lord will rise within all his greatness, and then I again will rise along with him. But I do not know when that time is, and you may not recognize me at that time." The friends of Jesus were very upset at this remark. "But Jesus, we will always recognize you, Jesus. We will never deny you, for we know who you are. We know your words. We know your manners. We know what you are speaking about. What do you mean we will not be able to recognize you perhaps? We are your close friends. Of course we will go and gather the people, so that you may talk to them about all things that the great Father speaks through you. For you are the one that is able to help the people to reason. You are the one that the great Father speaks through, and there is no other." So Jesus stated, always stay within your heart when you talk to the people. Never become angry with them. And when they say, "Go away, we do not want to know you," please just know that you have done all you could for those people. For they are not willing to recognize the great Father. It is the humble ones that you are searching for. They are the ones with a heart of love, and they will recognize what you say. They will say, "Show me, I am willing to listen. I am desiring to understand what your great Father says. I am desiring to meet this one who the great Father speaks through." It is those ones that the great Father will guide you to. It is those ones of the right heart. It is those very ones who will do so much great work on the earth now, on the earth in the future when the great Father returns, and also in the great heavens where we will sit together with the great Father in his everlasting glory, because he always remembers those who desire to be of love. And he will always bless those who will do the work of the great love. And so his followers went out and spoke to many. And they gathered so many So many people came to Jesus, and then Jesus stated to the people, "Happy is the one who desires to listen to these words, for they will understand truth, and truth is within you. For all these things you already know, for the great Father lives inside all. It is I who He's chosen to work with, to allow you to hear. But it is you who knows the great Father, for we are all from the same spaces. And it is the great Father that desires to reach your heart, for He knows the greatness within your heart. And when you feel the love of the great Father coming within you, then you will recognize that. And then the great Father will take you by His hand and by your hand. And then you will walk the higher path together. You will walk in union with the great Father, holding the great hand together and stepping forth with your feet together, witnessing these very moments. And at that the people got up and they clapped greatly, and they had tears in their eyes because they felt the great love. And the great love was felt even by the little ones. And Jesus had bodyguards around Him, protecting Him from the people who wanted to touch Him. Jesus, we know the great Lord. To us, you are the great Lord. And Jesus stated, I will never be worshipped, for I am just a man. Yes, I have been chosen to be a messenger, but it is the great Father who is guiding you. I am the messenger. I am the mouth of the great divine Father, because He loves you so much, He wishes to have that. And I will do as He asks me to do. But please do know, my dear friends, I am only a man, and I am nothing more. And with that, Jesus left. And many of the people stayed behind, and they gathered tents together, and they said to His friends, to the friends of Jesus, can you please ask Jesus to come back again tomorrow, for we want to listen to the teachings. So friends of Jesus approached Jesus, and they stated, Jesus, they are not leaving, they are staying. Can you please talk to them again tomorrow? And Jesus stated, it is the ones who desire to understand the greater truth of all that is, who will stay behind without me asking them to do so. The great Father always tests all hearts out. And because they have stayed behind and asked you, my dear friends, for me to return to the people, they will be blessed. And yes, I will speak to them. So in the morning, Jesus returned to the people, and many people were gathered, and even more gathered than the day before. Jesus stood up, and He stated, friends, I have returned. I ask you to be seated before me and listen to the words of love. For these words are from Divine Father. They are not my words. They are the words from Divine Father. And He wants all to be in the love, to find what divine love is. For He is only of love. And when you understand His greatness and His great love, you will understand that all was created with the great love, and that the great Father only desires love for you and your family. And with that, an elderly man stepped forward and he stated, "Please, Jesus, teach us how to love more. We want to hear. We want to hear your Father speak. Please do so." So Jesus stood there in all his beauty, as this channel also does. Suzanna Maria Emmanuel in front of an audience, as she always stands in front of an audience. Jesus did also. He stood so that his voice was louder, and so that the flows of my being, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, could be strong, so that the people could feel the love coming from him, as do the people do when this channel speaks. Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, the people feel the love flowing into them. "Behold, the time will come," says Jesus, "that the people will understand how peace and love will come on this plain. For how many people are crying out now, 'Great Father, teach us the ways of the love. Teach us the ways of the freedom.' And many people say they cannot find it. And yet the Great Father will say to you, 'But you can always find the great peace within you. For when you learn to forgive all things, then you are finding peace. And you are finding silence. And it's within that very silence you can find the treasure of all of life and wisdom. It is in the silence that you hear the heart speaking and the voice of truth speaking. And it is that silence that gives you all things. For the Great Father will always give all things to the children who ask. All things will be answered by him. He knows you so well, and he cares more for you than you can care for your children. Do you not care for your children? You give all things to your children that they are asking for when they need to have them. Think about how much more the Great Father cares for you. He created you. He created your planet. He knows all things that you need. When you seek the Great Father with all your heart, and you ask him, "Great Father, teach me the ways of the love and the wisdom," then the Great Father will answer your prayers, and all things will come to you that you need in that hour. For the Great Father will never leave you alone. The Great Father loves you so much, and there will be a time coming when great numbers of people will cry with their hearts of joy to the Great Father, saying, "Sovereign Lord, we have been waiting for you to return, and you have returned to bring us to greater paths of freedom." And it is in that hour when the greater numbers are gathered that the Great Father will say, "Look how blessed the people are, for now I can bring them streams of freedom and peace. And they will become strong as one, and they will be gifted with the great keys of all of life, and they will be gifted talents that will multiply time and time again, so that they become more precious. And look at the everlasting glorious realms that the Great Father will gift you in all of eternity, because your heart desired to love. This is what the Great Father promises all his children who desire to understand the great love. And he asks nothing in return of you. except to learn to love more and to step into that greater love by showing love to the great Father, by showing love to the people, to help them to find the higher path of love so that He can bless you in all of eternity. And all who desire the higher path and demonstrate that within their hearts, and bless the people with them being able to understand how beautiful the great Father is. The great Father will bless them so much in their life, time and time and time again. No more will they say, I am hungry. No more will they say, I'm thirsty. For all things are always given to those who desire to bless the great Father with the great love. For as they ask the great Father for the great love, they are also blessing the great Father. And the great Father sees these blessings and will multiply them time and time and time again. Know that nothing is unseen. And when you do a beautiful act of love for the great Father, He will multiply that blessing time and time and time and time again to satisfy you and to help you grow into the great love. For all things are seen by the great Father. And the people 2,000 years ago who heard those words were in tears. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing the great Father through. Thank you, great Father Emmanuel, for bringing these thoughts through your great channel. Thank you, great messenger, for all things we recognize within us, and we will go and spread your good news all over the world when we see the people, and we know that we will be eternally blessed. I am so happy, said the old man, to have traveled all this way. I've traveled for 6 days on foot, and my legs aren't so good. But you know, Jesus, by sitting here in your company, my legs feel stronger. And I know I can walk back to my home. And I will say to my family, a great blessing has been given to me. I saw Jesus. I heard Jesus. I felt the great Lord. And I can walk. I am in tears of gratitude, Jesus. And Jesus said to the man, you have seen the great love. You have felt it. Your family will be greatly blessed because of it. Always be in the peace, and remember the words, and stay in the love for all things. Go and spread the good news, that there will be a time when the great Lord will bring peace to the people. And when you spread the good news, your blessings will multiply many times, and the great Father will always look after you. And the people went, celebrating the good news of the great kingdom, for they had heard Jesus speak. Now I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, wish to state this to the people. I am here with my designated channel, Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, and I will use no other channel, for no other channel has ever been assigned to do the glorious work of the good news work, to bring good news to the people, to help them to understand the ways of love and harmony. For I am great love, and I am great harmony, and I am here to guide people towards a higher time of great love. And when you speak about my name, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great in the love, then I will bless your life. And for those who encourage people to come to the great mountain of light, CAEAYARON, who I've gifted to your plane at this time, together with my great channel, Suzanna, Maria, Emmanuel, I will gift you many blessings. For all things must always be blessed in the great love. And I wish to say to you, how wonderful it is to reach the people of the heart. For these are the same people that listened to Jesus speak 2,000 years ago. They are the same people that heard him speak then. With my sacred self, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, they will be the first to recognize the great channel, because they recognized Jesus as the great channel, and they do not deny the great channel, because they know they saw him speak 2,000 years ago, and they knew he would rise again. And now I say, the Word has risen, I have risen, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, to bring the good news to your earth. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.
Greetings.